Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam
Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Enam Kanvandam Maravindadalaya Taksham Bharavatam Samasitam Buddhasundaram Nandar Agom Vidamaniya Vishesha Shobha
Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami
Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Andani Yasa Sakale Priya Priti Manti Vasyanti Bhakti Kayanti Tiram Naganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadhu Jala Vigrahasya
Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami
Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham
Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati Sanma. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati Sadma. Bando Mui Savadana Bando Mui Savadana Mate. Yara Prasadeva Bhavatariya Yara Prasadeva He Bhavatoriya Krishna Prapti Ayate Krishna Prapti Ayate Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chite Te Kariya Ka Anakariya Mane Asha Anakariya Mane Asha Shri Guru Charani Rati Ese Uttama Gati Prasade Pure Sarvasha Ye Prasade Pure Sarvasha शशदान दिलो ये जन्म जन्म प्रभु से लाखदान दिलो ये जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु से दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशित दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशित प्रेम भक्ति आयते अविद्या विनाशायते प्रेम भक्ति आयते अविद्या विनाशायते वेदे गाय हर चरित वेदे गाय हर चरित करुणा सिंधु आदम जनार बंधु श्री गुरु करुणा सिंधु आदम जनार बंधु लोकेला लोकेरा जीवाना लोकेला लोकेरा जीवाना प्रभु कर दया देव मोरे पाद छाया प्रभु कर दया देव मोरे पाद छाया Ebe askuso tribubana Ebe askuso tribubana Shila Prabhupada Patita Pavana Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada ki Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shinavadi Pasyatya Dishatarine Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadada Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadada Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadada Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chanda, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Dvaita Chanda, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chanda, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Dvaita Chanda, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaur Hari Bol. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Chari Hasta Tera Sata Shri Srimad, His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Pravakacharya Hasta Tera Sata Shri Srimad, His Divine Grace, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem se kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sri Vasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopinath Shai Mukunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhana Ki Jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Shri Mayapur Dhama Ki Jai. Jamuna Maya Ki Jai. Ganga Maya Ki Jai. Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Granthvat Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. Yuga Dharma Harinam Sankirtan Yogya Ki Jai. Brihamadanga Transcendental Book Distribution Ki Jai. Transcendental Prasadam Distribution Ki Jai. Go Premanandi. Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Braja Janaranjana Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Braja Janaranjana Jaya Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Vihari Chari Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Vihari Ravanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Kala Chanji Radha Kala Chanji Radhe. Jaya Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Radhe. Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadra. Jaya Gauranita Jaya Gauranita Jaya Gauranita Jaya Gauranita. Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet. Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhaktiruttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtuki krishnaya vasudevaya devaki nandanaya cha nandagopakumaraya govindaya namo namaha. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 13, Text 49. Soyam Adya Maharaja Bhagavan Bhuta Bhavanaha Kala Rupo Vitarnyo Kala Rupo Vatirnyo Syam Habhavaya Suradvisham Soyam Adya Maharaja Bhagavan Bhuta Bhavanaha Kala Rupo Vitarnyo Syam Abhavaya Suradvisham. Soyam Adya Maharaja Bhagavan Bhuta Bhavanaha Kala Rupo Vatirnyo Syam Abhavaya Suradvisham. Soyam Adya Maharaja Bhagavan Bhuta Bhavanaha Kala Rupo Vatirnyo Syam Abhyavaya Suradvisham. Transliteration. Saha, that Supreme Lord, I am the Lord Sri Krishna, Adya, at present, Maharaja, O King, Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead, Bhuta Bhavanaha, the creator or the father of everything created. Kala Rupaha, in the disguise of all devouring time. Avatirnaha, descended. Ashyam, upon the world. Abhavayaha, for eliminating. Suradvisham, those who are against the will of the Lord. Translation. That Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, in the guise of all devouring time, Kala Rupa, has now descended on earth to eliminate the envious from the world. Purport. There are two classes of human beings, namely the envious and the obedient. Since the Supreme Lord is the Father, is the one and the Father of all living beings, the envious living beings are also His sons, but they are known as the Asuras. But the living beings who are obedient to the Supreme Father are called Devatas or demigods, because they are not contaminated by the material conception of life. Not only are the Asuras envious of the Lord in even denying the existence of God, they are also envious of all other living beings. The predominance of Asuras in this world is occasionally rectified by the Lord when He eliminates them from the world and establishes a rule of Devatas like the Pandavas. His designation as Kala in disguise is significant. He is not at all dangerous, but He is the transcendental form of eternity, knowledge and bliss. For the devotees, His actual form is disclosed, and for the non-devotees, He appears like Kala Rupa, which is causal form. This causal form of the Lord is not at all pleasing to the Asuras, and therefore they think of the Lord as formless in order to feel secure that they will not be vanquished by the Lord. So actually in this shloka, as we can see, that Bhagavan Sri Krishna's eternal position as the all-devouring time, Kala Rupa, is explained. This is also actually given in the Bhagavad Gita in the universe, in the chapter of the universal form, actually, the Vishwarupam. Actually, Bhagavan says, Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Kalosmi Lokakshyat Krit Pravadho Lokan Samahartum Iva Pravartaha Ritepi Tvam Na Bhavishyanti Sarve Yevashtita Pratyanikeshu Yodaha. So Bhagavan Krishna tells Arjuna that time I am the great destroyer of the world, and I have come here to destroy all the people. With the exception of you, the Pandavas, all the soldiers, and here from all sides will be slain. Actually, we know in the Mahabharata war, apart from the Pandavas and few people like Ashwatthama and few selected people only, everyone is actually eliminated from the battlefield. And this is the confusion which Arjuna has when he goes in the start of the Yuddha itself to the middle of the battlefield, thinking that everyone, there is people on his side, people of relatives on both sides, he has to fight with them. But as Krishna explains to him as the Bhagavad Gita goes, that he has already decided that everyone is to be annihilated. Only the exception of Pandavas and few other people are supposed to be there. So the conception of body and the conception of attachment itself is coming because of the presence of time. So that is why it is said in the material creation, time is a very important essence, because as we know even scientifically, things also degrade with time or things pass away. So Bhagavan is actually explaining that whether you do the duty or no, he has already decided to actually take care of certain things from a karmic standpoint. So that's why Bhagavan explains that even there is actually explained in the Katha Upanishad, Yasya Brahma cha Shaktram cha Ube Bhavata Odanaha Mrityor Yasyapa Sechanam Ya Ittha Veda Yatrasa. So actually everyone is devoured by the Supreme Person, by the universal form of the Lord. So Arjuna actually, as you know, was not at all in favor of the fight initially, because he thought it was better not to fight and there will be no frustration, no anxiety, right? But in reply, Bhagavan says that even he did not fight, as in the shloka it is explained, that every one of them will go away because that is Bhagavan's plan. So if Arjuna stopped fighting, they would somehow be annihilated. If Arjuna, that is why Krishna tells Arjuna, you are an instrument. So whether you decide to be an instrument for me, or you decide to be an instrument for your own karma or desire, that is what one has to understand. So this is the relationship actually where it is mentioned here in the slok, in the purport also, where the difference between envious and obedient, as it is explained here, is actually not about devatas and asuras. It is more about the concept of anukula sankalpasya pratikulpa varjanam, means doing those things which are favorable to Bhagavan and according to Shastra, and not doing those things which are not favorable to Bhagavan and Shastra. So as we know, Bhagavan is Aham bija pradapita sarvayoneshu kaunteya. Krishna is the seed giving father of every jivatma. So whether everyone, different kinds of human beings may be present in this universe, other universes, in different countries and different religions and everything, but he is the father for everyone, not only for human beings. He is even the father for every animal species, every plant species, everything which has life, the jivatma which is present. He is actually providing for everything. The only difference is when we decide to not be close to him or decide to ignore him, then there are consequences which happen according to, and that is of course explained in Bhagavad Gita. Krishna tells to Arjuna whether there is prarabdha karma, there is sanchita karma, how those things fructify, right? So, but what is more important to understand is, once we understand the knowledge, how we can be obedient. In material universe, being obedient is actually considered not the best thing, because everyone wants to lord over the world. Everyone wants to become the king. Everyone wants to become the top of the world, right? But there are also examples we can see, like for example, that how even during Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's time, that even the king in Odisha who was present in Jagannath Puri, he used to come and sweep the floor, in Gundicha Marjana. So the king is also, of course, a king has praja. Even Yudhishthira Maharaj was king. Actually, if you take Yudhishthira's example, but the understanding is that is why in those days the knowledge of the soul or jivatma is taught from a young childhood to every varna, whether one is Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya or Shudra. That knowledge is always given, because without that, then we are equivalent to something. An animal cannot understand that. So our life should be greater than being just animals, but be as human beings. So ahara nidra bhayamaitunamscha samanya etad pashumir naranam. Animals also have a life. They also, accumulate food, they eat, they live their life, they have happiness in a different way, right? But the thing is, dharmasya, following dharma, following religion, upholding those values is what is responsible for human being. So that is why we can see here that Bhagavan explains here that those who are obedient are to him, he helps them. And of course, and at times, as we know the shloka, paritranaya sadhuna vinashaya cha dushkrinadham. So every time Bhagavan will, even here we can see the word avatiranaha is described. It means descended. So Bhagavan, as we know, our life is always considered as we take birth, we may pass away, we may take another body. But Bhagavan's avataram is always called descent. The right word is avataram, right? It is not called, we may say in English as born, but the correct word is actually avataram, because we take birth according to our and collective karma which happens for people across us we encounter. But for Bhagavan, there is no karma where he decides to take birth. When he decides, he wants to come. So that is the aspect of Bhagavan's potency which happens. Like for example, we know in the 10th canto also, that's why he says, Aham sarvasya mato matha sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhavas samanvitaha. So he says, I am the source of all spiritual and material universes. Everything emanates from me. And the wise who perfectly know this engage in my devotional service and worship me for all their hearts. So this is why it is said that, one who has studied the Vedas, one who studies Shastras, understands that Ishvara Karma, Ishvara Parama Krishna, Sachidananda Vigraha, Anadiradir Govindam, Sarva Karana Karanam. So he is the seed giving father. Everything he is the source from him. Right? So as we know, even in Atharva Vedam, it is written that Yo Brahmanam Vidati Purvam Yo Vededam Cha Gapa Yati Shama Krishna. It is Krishna who in the beginning instructed Brahma in the Vedic knowledge and who disseminated Vedic knowledge in this path. So there are many slogans which are given to explain this actually, how material universe can happen. But that is why it is said that surrender and worshipping is also important for us, because people think that in life following Shastra or philosophy means becoming bound. But actually what we don't realize, we are already bound in a material universe. If we take as a simple example, we have a body as a Jivatma and we have a body around us. But if you look at it, no matter however the most powerful person in this universe may be, he cannot survive without sun or sunlight. No matter whoever he is, as a human being or any Jivatma, he has to rely on sun. He can say, I can be independent, I can do what I want, I can be the most wealthiest, but he cannot survive without sun, because without sun and moon, nor there will be rain, there will be cloud, there will be water, nothing. So we know even from a scientific aspect. So that is why it is said that we think we want to liberate ourselves from the shackle, but in order to know that, we have to first understand that we are already bound in a shackle. If we think we are already liberated here, then it is very difficult to realize. That is why Vedanta Sutra is said to say Atato Brahma Jigyaso, means this is the time to realize what is the purpose of human life. So that explains here. Also this Bhuta Bhavanaha is also actually explained. As we know, today is Vijay Ekadashi, but also this word Bhuta Bhavanaha is also given in Vishnu Sahasranamam, and Bhishma is looking at Lord Krishna, right, and he recites this actually. So to give also a little bit of context of, there are an aspect of Bhagavan's forms actually. So there are 5 kinds of actually, if you look at manifestations in Shastra which is explained. It is Para, Vyuha, Vibhava, Archa and Antaryami. So Para form, Para form is actually basically Bhagavan who is complete in 6 opulences. Aishwaryasya Samagrayasya Viryasya Atashriya Jnana Vairagyasya Shannam Bhaga Itingana. So Bhagavan who is complete in full 6 opulences, Lord Krishna, he is the one in Para form, and he is residing in the spiritual world, in Goloka Vaikuntham, in Vaikuntha Loka and other planets other Vaikuntha planets which are present. He resides as he is. This is the Para form of Bhagavan himself actually. Right? Then the second form which comes is Vyuha form. In the Vyuha form actually we say Vasudeva, Pradyumna, Aniruddha and Sankarshana. So for example, Pradyumna denotes an expansion of Aishwarya and Virya. Aniruddha will come as Shakti and Tejas, right? Which means it's a function of protection and sthiti and preservation, right? Then Sankarshana is Jnana and Bala. So which is function of samhara and destruction. So these are the different aspects. Then the third which comes, as I said, is actually Vibhava. So Vibhava form is actually also in the form of, you can say like Matsya, Kurma, Varaha. They are direct avatarams too, actually speaking, right? And then also in some avatarams, Bhagavan comes actually as like Vyasadeva. He comes as an incarnation. So he comes in this. And he invests his potency for some time as there, like Parshurama also, right? So these are the things which are called the Vibhava avataram. Then of course comes Archa. Archa Vigraha form is that what we worship in a temple or a deity which we say. So Bhagavan is present as he is in Archa Vigraha, right? And then finally it is Antaryami, which is Paramatma actually. So these are the 5 classifications of Bhagavan's potency, of how he exists actually, and an avataram standpoint. To share a little bit more, as I said in this shloka, it says Bhuta Bhavanaha actually. So actually if we read in Vishnu Sahasranamam, so the first, as most of us know, the first slokam is Vishwam Vishnur Vishatkaro Bhuta Bhavya Bhavat Prabhu Bhuta Krit Bhuta Budbhavo Bhuta. So one should understand why Bhishma Dev, of course, as we know, Bhishma Dev quit his body also on Ekadashi, which is very auspicious. If someone is able to quit his life on an Ekadashi, he is destined to go back to Bhagavan's abode. Of course, now, so let us explain why even Bhagavan says Kala Purusha. So Vishwam, so what does Vishwam mean actually? So Vishwam means cause of all causes or universe, one who is full in all respects. So Vishwam means that, then Vishnu. So when one creates something, Bhagavan permeates into everything actually. So he is actually present, his potencies and energies go in helping creation of the material universe. So the shloka actually explains Vishnu. So that is what it says, Vishwam Vishnu. Then we can say the more deeper explanations, Vishvesa Bhutani Chara Charani. He entered all beings, movable and immovable. So Bhagavan's potencies are present as a Paramatma, as I said. So the classification of Para, Vyuha, Vibhava, Archa, Antaryami. Then of course he permeates and enters all Jivatmas, right? And movable and immovable objects also. Even potencies which are present, which are immovable objects, his indirect potencies or energies are also present in them actually. So then also we can say the third name which is present here, right? Vashatkaraha. So he who controls and directs, but not merely pervades. So the best way I can say is this: for example, if someone creates something, but imagine he has to control all the universes and every energy in this universe. So it says Vishwam Vishnur Vishatkaraha. So he who is part of the whole Vishwam and whole universe, and he who creates, and then he controls and directs. Like Bhagavan says to Arjuna also in Bhagavad Gita, that everything is controlled like him. Everything rests. Like if you look at a necklace, there are beads which are present, and of course as a string. So Bhagavan is the binding string which is keeping everything running. So that is the meaning of Vishatkaraha, one who controls and directs actually. So it is said that, see, if someone creates something, but they cannot control everything every time. Everything in the material universe, from planets and other universes, are working according to his desire. So then the fourth namam says, Bhuta Bhavya Bhavat Prabhu. He is the master of all things past, present and future. Like for example, when Krishna explains to Arjuna in the 2nd and 3rd chapters, he says, you and I have taken many births before, but we cannot remember everything. We may be able to remember maybe one life. Sometimes some people have some potencies, they can remember a previous lifetime or something, it comes to them, or few other lifetimes, or astrology can also show some aspects of past life. But Bhagavan remembers everything about everyone, not just one person. He remembers about everyone actually. So that is why he says, Bhuta Bhavya Bhavat Prabhave Namaha. So it says Nirukti, it says Trikala Vartinam Seshi. That is the right word. It says the Lord of all things that exists in the past, present and future. So one other thing is this, Bhuta Bhavya Bhavannatha Keshava Keshi Suddhama. So Keshava, the slayer of Keshi demon, the Asura, is present in the past, present and future. So just to share here, who was Keshi demon, right? So in Vrindavana, when Krishna was young, so of course, when Bhagavan Krishna was in Vrindavana, every day his job only would be to take the cows, go with his friends, graze the calves, come back. And once it so happened actually that Madhumangala, one of the Gopas with Krishna, everyone, all the residents of Vrindavana, though they had children of their own, but the prema for Krishna was always naturally flowing, right? So everyone would give, even though they would send a lot of, let's say their own children going to the forest to graze, they would also make an extra preparation for Krishna also. So Madhumangala was one of the Gopas who was a little more, you can say, chubby in this case, okay? So he always said to Krishna that, how is that every time you only get everything, but I don't get that much as what you do. So then, so Krishna actually said, okay, why don't you do one time, you take my peacock feather, you wear my color of dress as Pitambaram, and you go around Vrindavana and you can eat as much as you want. So it so happens that actually Madhumangala does this and he goes around and he dresses a little bit like that. So people mistake him when they see him and they don't mind that he comes and takes them. So actually he eats to his absolute brim and full as much as possible. Every amount of sweets to curd to milk, Madhumangala enjoys all the preparations. Now of course, as we know, in all this time, also in so many years, as Krishna was growing up, Kamsa would keep on sending every time one Asura to actually take care of Krishna. So then he decided, this is the time actually to send Keshi demon. So Keshi was an Asura, and it so happened that he took a form of horse as what he was there. So he came around to Vrindavana and immediately he saw Madhumangala. So of course, the way he recognized Krishna or Madhumangala thinking is Krishna is because Madhumangala also took and wore the peacock feather actually on his crown actually. So immediately Keshidavan saw and he started charging towards Madhumangala. Then of course, immediately Madhumangala shrieked and Krishna heard it. So Krishna came running to his rescue. So of course then Krishna engages in a combat with the Keshi demon who is in the form of a horse. And actually there is a violent fight which happens, and in the end Krishna manages to punch him and basically put his hand inside his mouth and puts it so inside and extends his hand that he starts expanding his hand inside the Rakshasa's stomach. And because of that, the Rakshasa Keshi demon as horse dies, actually passes his life air away. Of course, as he passes his life air away, then a soul comes out of it, right? Because it is leaving its body. And then that Jivatma actually goes down. So actually, it was one of the Devatas who was present. And what happened is, if we know the Leela where Indra was actually taking, there's a Leela of Indra fight with Vritasura. And actually Indra at that time does a Ashwamedha Yagya. So Ashwamedha Yagya is where someone does a yaga to basically proclaim, his greatness as a king, also even as the heavenly planets. So this Devata actually goes and steals the horse, actually, and he takes it to Patala Loka for mischief. So obviously at that time, for this reason, he gets cursed to be born as Asura, and that's why Keshi Devan actually comes, This is the spot of getting liberated when Krishna actually kills him. So, of course, after he gets killed, he's liberated, he goes back to Vaikuntha Loka. So, this is the Leela, as we can see even here, that Bhuta Bhavya Bhavannatha, Bhuta Bhavanaha, that he takes care of the Kesi demon actually. Of course, this is why he said, Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya dushkritam. It is wonderful and amazed to see that even as a Bala Gopala, as Krishna, he can slay even Putana or even Kesi demon or Dhenukasura and many other asuras actually. So this is why it is said that understanding Bhagavan or Sri Krishna is beyond the physical laws as we know them, the laws and constraints of time. It cannot be inferred. Bhagavan always, even as he stayed in we would say in Bhulokam here as Krishna, he always looked Yauvanam, young. Our skin degrades, we get old. Bhagavan will not have wrinkles. He is always young. Satchidananda Vigraha, because our body is made of material elements, Panchabhutaha. Bhagavan's is called Vigraha, Shariram is called Vigraha. It's Satchitanandaham. That is why the best, if you want to use the example, when there is happiness, there cannot be sadness. So imagine if someone's, we can't say someone, but as Bhagavan is all Satchidanandam Vigraha, it always is in a happy state. Doesn't matter. So that is the beauty of Lord Krishna. So the other in the Vishnu Sahasranam first sloka is Bhutakrit, is the creator of all beings. As we already say, Aham sarvasya mato matha sarvam pravartate. Actually, then Bhutabrit, supporter of all beings. See, we can, that's why I said, Bhagavan through also Panchabhutaha, right, and other elements in this world, he is sustaining not only this universe, every single universe, not only this planetary system, even planetary systems which are above and below, actually. So that is the aspect. Bhavaha, he who exists with all splendor, he who exists always independent of anything else. Like as I was saying, we need something to survive. No human being can ever be independent at all of anyone in this world. Whether, in fact, every living entity needs air to survive. Without Vayu Devata, without air, we cannot even survive. Without sun, without moon, the earth cannot be there. Even elements around here, right? We cannot survive. This is elements. No one can, we cannot even survive without people around us. As human beings, we also desire for love and affection, right? And this is natural in life. So, yes, Bhagavan also needs it, but he is independent of everything. Just like the best example is given is, a lotus is there in a water, but the lotus leaf never touches the bottom of the site. It is almost just floating around. That's the best way to say. Even though it touches, it never gets contaminated. We get contaminated. Bhagavan never gets contaminated. Like we say, in Hindi they said, Jahan Surya hai, wahan andhakar nahi hai. Means, where there is sunlight, there cannot be darkness. So similarly, that which is pure and self-emanating pure can never get corrupted or never get tainted. That is the example which is given in Vedam. So, Bhutatma, which is the Atma or the soul of all beings. As I said, one should not think Bhagavan Sri Krishna or Paramatma, which we say the five forms as Paramatma. It does not mean he is only Paramatma inside human beings. No. That is why we follow ahimsa, right? Whether we don't harm animals, we don't harm plants and all those things, right? And the last word which it says, Bhuta Bhavanaha. So here also you can see the creator and father of everything created. But the way Bhishma Dev, when he composed this, is actually meaning one who nourishes and nurtures all the beings he's created. Because if you think about it, sun and if you look at all the elements, which is all created by Bhagavan in this earth, he provides everything for all his jivatmas, all his children. The sun doesn't the sun doesn't discriminate whether it should shine or no here and there. Of course, based on there is kala, time, pravritti, karma, there are different things. But sun doesn't discriminate. If I stand on the street with me and someone else, it can shine on me, it cannot shine. Vayu does not discriminate saying I will only provide air to this or no. So Bhagavan's energies are actually independent. They are equal. Sometimes many people claim Bhagavan is causing everything. No, it is our prarabdha karma and our sanchit karma which causes us to go through this. So it is, and it is natural. Maybe the best example can do is this, that when we are young, or everyone has grown up from some point, and one can relate that one is sometimes such people get a little displeased with their parents, right? When parents don't provide something, right? You may get angry. This is because we can only understand examples through material creation or material universes. Like Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, right? Reflection of banyan tree which is inverted here. So sometimes as Jivatmas, we may be inobedient or we may be displeased with Bhagavan that he is partial. But actually, the father and mother love all their children equally. They love all of them. It is just that is also unique. Just we know everyone, every Jivatma is unique. Every child is unique. Every love, even, I won't say love, but, sometimes some children can be told once. Some children have to be told more than once. Right? They have to be explained differently. Right? So Bhagavan knows all that stuff actually. So that's why Lord Krishna never abandons anyone actually. It is our understanding, or maybe we get misconcepted that he abandons us actually. So that's why he says, Bhuta Bhavanaha is actually mean is nourishing all the things. He nourishes everyone actually. This is the prema which Bhagavan shows to us. The only difference is we don't understand or we are not able to comprehend the love and affection Bhagavan shows directly or indirectly. Right? And so it is our responsibility to chant Bhagavan's name, offer prasad, or, that's why we say, right, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toya. Means whatever as prasad you can offer, even simple things, whether a fruit, a flower, a water, even water, doesn't matter. Bhagavan doesn't need it. As I said, why this sloka here, he says, Bhavaha means he exists always independent. Bhagavan doesn't need everything. Everything, his whole universe is his only. He wants that love and affection. So even if one can go every day, offer a glass of water to Bhagavan, that also is pleasing to him. Right? That's what we should be doing. Even you can offer fruit, you can offer a flower, what you eat, you can do that. Because it helps us purify. So this is the aspect of the shloka where Bhagavan is actually giving why he is Kala Rupaha and all the different names. As we say, and it is also very significant actually, as when Bhishmadev wanted to actually look at Lord Krishna and talk about the first shloka itself, this whole first shloka describes the Vishwam Vishatkara is actually coming from the whole universe aspect of what is Bhagavan's greatness. And then he goes into different names of just a short description is, this is one of the Ekadashi which is followed by Lord Rama itself. So as we know, when after Lord Rama went to South India, and of course Hanuman came back with the news Sita is there. Of course he went to Rameshwaram basically to go to Lanka, and he wanted to build a bridge. And of course, as we know, Bhagavan Rama doesn't need actually some intermediate blessing or something like that. He knows exactly he can annihilate Ravana from where he is also actually speaking. But this is actually for us what we have to follow as Ekadashi. So when they were in pondering, so Lakshmana actually tells Lord Rama, there is a sage who is present, who is actually he is present around here. Why we should go and take darshanam of him. So Rama and Lakshmana actually go to visit the sage's ashrama actually. And the sage explains to him, this is an auspicious day on this Vijaya Ekadashi, that you should fast. And once you fast, you will achieve greatness and successfulness for whatever you are trying to do. So of course, Lord Rama follows the Ekadashi. He fasts on this day. and he actually follows Ekadashi. And after that, that is when after that, Bhagavan Rama goes to the ocean and tries to actually invoke Varuna Deva, and then he basically says, I want to build a bridge. And as we know, Bhagavan Rama is victorious over Ravana. So again, so this Ekadashi, is the significance of it is also the fact that Lord Rama also fasted on this particular Tithi day, and to achieve the victoriousness over Ravana, right? Of course, Rama is, people think that Lord Rama, when he went to the sage's ashrama, the sage perfectly knew who these two individuals are coming actually. So, as Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, avajanati mam mudha manushim tanum ashritam. So actually speaking, that fools deride me as common man. People think that when Lord Rama came and see his moroseness, for example, that he is, as a normal human being and sees emotion for Sita. Actually, one should some of the wonderful qualities actually, which cannot be found in any man in this universe actually. So it is said, after Lord Rama slay Ravana, actually, it so happened that Lord Rama was sitting and doing penance, and of course he did Prayashchitam. And Mandodari, of course, she was a very chaste woman. I mean, people should understand that she was not an ordinary woman. Ravana was what he was, but as a wife, Mandodari was very chaste to her husband. So, what is that? What she was also curious is, what personality, though I was so chaste, could actually harm my husband? So Mandodari goes to actually see Rama, and where Rama is sitting. So Rama is sitting like this, and when Mandodari comes, Rama's foot is like, down. And the moment he is sitting, he sees a woman's shadow come. When he sees the shadow is about to even touch his feet, he lifts his feet. So Mandodari sees, and she immediately realizes that Rama doesn't even allow another woman's shadow to touch him. That is the aspect of the purity of Rama and his devotion to his wife. So that is, and immediately when Mandodari sees that, she understands that how great Bhagavan Rama is actually. This is one, you can talk about qualities of Bhagavan Rama, it is never ending actually, but this is one aspect to share and show how great Rama is. Yes, we may live in a practical world, but Rama was also in those days a king, and he still lived like that. And that is what we should take. Many people think that the other aspect is Lord Rama said that, he sent Sita away after even he came back. In fact, in today's world, it is said that everyone wants their leader of any country to put themselves above their own the leader's family. So Lord Rama was able to sacrifice his own family above for the sake of all the praja. No leader will do it in today's world. So that is the aspect. But anyway, so it shows Bhagavan Rama's greatness itself, right? On what he is and what his quality is actually speaking, right? So as we see that how Mandodari understands the greatness of Rama himself. So that's why, of course, Bhagavan Rama keeps this fast on Ekadashi, and he is victorious against Ravana. And we know the story of Ramayana itself, right, which is said. So anyway, this is today's class. So I just wanted to share if there are any comments, thoughts people want to share or anything. So, okay. Vrindraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Krishna Kirtana Ganana Karnaparau Premamrita Vanidhi Veera Dhira Jana Krishna Kirtana Ganana Tana Prabhu Premamritam Vanidhi Veera Veera Jana Priya Priya Karo Nemar Sarau Pujitau Chaitanya Kripa Bharau Bhuvi Bhuva Bhara Tarakau Bande Rupa Sanatana Raghujugo Sri Jiva Gopalakau Bande Rupa Sanatana Raghujugo Sri Bhagavata Krishna Kirtana Gana Krishna Kirtana Gana Nartana Paramu Prema Metamani Veera Veera Jana Priya Priya Karo Nirma Pujitam Sri Chaitanya Kripa Bharau Chaitanya Kripa Bharau Bhuvi Bhuva Bharava Antarakau Bande Rupa Sanatana Raghujugo Sri Bhagavatakau Vicharanai Kanipunam Sadharma Samasthapaku Lokanam Hitakarinam Upane Mandam Sarana Karo kanipuna Dharma samasthapak Lokanam hitakarinam Tribhuvane manna sarana Vicharanai kanipuna Tadharma samasthapak Lokanam hitakarinam Tribhuvane manna sarana Sri Chaitanya Kripa Bharau Lokanam Hitakarinam Tribhumane Manna Sarana Vicharanai kanipuna Tadharma samasthapak Lokanam hitakarinam Tribhuvane manna sarana Nanda Krishna Radha Krishna Padarabindau Bhajanamritau Radha Krishna Padarabindau Bhajana Nandena Mattalika Vande Rupa Sanatanam Raghujugal Siji Krishna Kitana Dana Natala Parau Prema Maniji Veera Veera Janapriya Prema Ojita Sri Chaitanya Kripa Bharau Bhuva Mara Manta Rakau Bande Rupa Chanatana Rakhujuga Vasudasudasure चतुरे सुखराज्य लक्ष्मी धनीश आजवदस जगदाद रन्ना मंगलस्नी सदा उत्सव भूत्वा दीनगणे सकौ करुणया मंडलपति शनि सदा उत्सव भूत्वा दीनगणे सकौ करुणया कौपीनकं आस्थितौ गोपी भावरसामृताब्दलहरी गोपी भावरसामृताब्दलहरी कल्लो लमग्नमः वन्दे रूप सनातन रघुजुगल श्रीजी भगो पालक राधे हे राधे ब्रज देविके च हे नंद सूना कुतः ब्रज देविके च ललिते हे नंद सूनः कुतः श्री गोवर्धन पादपतले कालिंदी वने तः राधे ब्रज देविके च ललिते हे नंद सूनः कुतः श्री गोवर्धन पादपतले कालिंदी वने कुतः गोसंतापिते संतापिते सर्वतो ब्रजपुरे खेदै विह्वलौ वन्दे रूप सनातन रघुयुगौ वो संतापिते सर्वतो ब्रजपुरे खेदै महाविह्वलौ वन्दे रूप सनातन रघुयुगौ बालक कृष्ण कीर्तन दान रतन परम प्रेमामृतम मनीषी धीर धीर जनप्रिय प्रियकरौ हिमांशरौ पूजितौ श्री चैतन्य कृपाभर भुवि भुव वहन तारक वन्दे रूप सनातन रघुयुग प्रेमानंद सुखी कृपया वर्णन कर अमी भजन दुखी प्रेमानंद सुखी कृपया वर्णन कर अमी दया कदमरे तुम्ही बिना दयाल जगत दया कर सीतापति दया कर सीतापति अद्वैत सही কৃপা বলে পাই তব কৃপা বলে দয়া পদ সীতাপতি অদ্বৈত দাসাই তব পাবলে পাই চৈতন্য নিতাই দয়াকার সীতাপতি অদ্বৈত দাসাই তব পাবলে পাই চৈতন্য নিতাই সনাতন নরোত্তমা আহা স্বরূপ সনাতন রূপ প্রভুনা জীব শ্রী জীব প্রভু লক্ষ্মণা দয়া কর শ্রী আচার্য শ্রীনিবা রাম চন্দ্র সঙ্গ মাগে দয়া কর আচার্য প্রভু সিনেমা রাম চন্দ্র সঙ্গ মাগে শ্রীকৃষ্ণ চৈতন্য প্রভু দয়া কর মনে তুমি বিনা কে দয়াল জগৎ শ্রীকৃষ্ণ চৈতন্য প্রভু রাজা খাজা মরে তুমি বিনা কে দয়াল জগৎ শ্রীকৃষ্ণ চৈতন্য জয় রাধে জয় কৃষ্ণ জয় বৃন্দাবন গোবিন্দ কৃষ্ণ মদন জয় রাধে জয় কৃষ্ণ জয় বৃন্দাবন Govinda Dina Madama Shri Govinda Gopina Madama Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Vrindavan Shri Govinda Gopina Madama Jamona Jaya Jaya Mahamam Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Vrindavan Shri Govinda Gopina Madana Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Vrindavan Shri Govinda Gopina Madana Dada Sakhanam Yesi Bhadvam Shivatam Dada Sakhanam Jaha Jaha Leela Kaila Jinanda Shrihan Dada Sakhanam Jaha Sabanila Kaila Vinandanam Sri Nanda Jasana Jaya Sri Nanda Jasana Jaya Jaya Gopam Sridhamati Jaya Jaya Venu Aksaram Mugan Nigamadi Jaya Jaya Venumasangam Jaya Vishwabhanu Jaya Kritika Sundari Jaya Purnamachi Jaya Nami Ganapati Jaya Nami Jaya Jaya Vrindavan Govinda Gopiya Madana Jaya Radhe Jaya Vrindavan Govinda Gopiya Jaya Jaya Krishna Sakha Bhattu Vijara Jaya Jaya Rama Ghan Rojini Nanda Mandala Jaya Jaya Rama Mandala Jaya Jaya Radha Jaya Jaya Rasa Lila Rama Jaya Jaya Rasa Lila Radhamana Jaya Vrindavan Jaya Jaya Rasa Radha Rasa Jaya Jaya Radha Rasa Bharatiya Bhavega Jaya Jaya Jana Rasa Sarva Rasa Bharati Raha Pradet Jannabi Adapanma Variyatmana Jannabi Pada Padma Karishma Dinaki Sadhata Hari Dinaki Karasa Baye Namaste Jaya Jaya Vrindavan Govinda Gopina Dasamati Nandana Brajabada Nagara Gokula Ranjana Kana Ramati Nandana Brajabada Nagara Gokula Ranjana Dasamati Nandana Brajabada Nagara Gokula Ranjana Kana Parana Dhana Magana Manahara Kaliya Damana Vidhana Gopi Parana Dhana Magana Manahara Kaliya Damana Vidhana Dasamati Nandana Brajavara Nagara Dasamati Nandana Brajavara Nagara Gopi Pranana Dhana Viparana Dhana Madana Manahara Kaliya Damana Vidhana Dasamati Nandana Brajavara Nagara Maya Harinam Amya Vilasa Vipina Purangara Navina Nagara Mara Manki Magana Sivata Maya Harinam Vilasa Vipina Purandara Navina Nagara Bara Manki Magana Sivata Dasamati Nandana Brajavara Nagara Gokula Ranjana Dasamati Nandana Brajavara Jajana Palana Asurapuranasana Nandaka Dhana Rakhavala Jajana Palana Asurapuranasana Nandaka Dhana Rakhavala Govinda Madhava Navanita Dasanam Govinda Madhava Navanita Dasanam Sundarananda Gopala Govinda Madhava Navanita Dasanam Govinda Madhava Navanita Dasanam Sundarananda Gopala Dasamati Nandana Brajavara Nagara Dasamati Nandana Brajavara Nagara Gokula Ranjana Dasamati Nandana Brajavara Nagara Gokula Ranjana Ramana Tatachara Jamuna ततचरा गोपी वसनहरा रासरसिक कृपमोहि ततचरा गोपी वसनहरा रासरसिक कृपमोहि श्री राधा वल्लभ वृंदावन श्री राधा वल्लभ वृंदावन भक्ति गुण गजसायं श्री राधा वल्लभ वृंदावन श्री राधा वल्लभ वृंदावन भक्ति गुण गजसायं दशमति नंदन ब्रजवरनागर गोकुलरंजन दशमति नंदन ब्रजवरनागर गोकुलरंजन गोपी परानंदन मदन मनोहर कालिय गमन विधान गोपी परानंदन मदन मनोहर कालिय गमन विधान दशामति नंदन ब्रजवदनागर गोकुल रंजन दशामति नंदन ब्रजवदनागर गोकुल रंजन गोपी वसनहरा रासरसिक कृपमोहि यमुना तटचरा गोपी वसनहरा रासरसिक कृपमोहि श्री राधा वल्लभ वृंदावन श्री राधा वल्लभ वृंदावन भक्ति गुण गजसायं श्री राधा वल्लभ भक्ति गुण गजसायं समति नंदन ब्रजवदनागर गोकुल रंजन दशमति नंदन चिंतामणि प्रकर सदमसु कल्पवृक्ष लक्षावृतेषु सुरभिरभिपालयन्तम् Lakshmi Sahasrasata Sambrama Sevamanam Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Chintamani Prakara Sadmasu Kalpa Britanakyabritesu Surabhi Rabhi Palayantam Lakshmi Sahasrasata Sambrama Sevamanam Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Venam Kanmantang Aravinda Dalayataksam Venam Kanmantang Aravinda Dalayataksam Barahavatang Samasitam Buddha Sundarangam Kandarpa Koti Kamaniya Vishesha Sobhang Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Chintamani Prakara Sadmasu Kalpa Vriksha Lakshabritesu Surabhi Ravi Palayantam Lakshmi Sahasrasata Sambrama Sevamanam Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Alola Chandra Kalasa Banamala Bangshi Ratnangadang Pranaya Keli Kalavilasam Shyamang Tribhangalalitang Niyata Prakasam Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Chintamani Prakara Sadmasu Kalpa Vrikhalakhabritesu Surabhi Rabhi Palayantam Lakshmi Sahasrasata Sambrama Sevamanam Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham तमाहं भजामि गोविन्दम् आदिपुरुषं तमाहं भजामि चिन्तामणि अंगानि यस्य सकलेन्द्रियवृत्तिमन्ति पश्यन्ति पान्ति कलयन्ति चिरं जगन्ति अंगानि यस्य सकलेन्द्रियवृत्तिमन्ति पश्यन्ति पान्ति कलयन्ति चिरं जगन्ति आनंद चिन्मय सदु जल विग्रहस्य गोविन्दं आदि पुरुषं तमाहं भजामि चिंतामणि प्रकर सदमशु कल्पवृक्ष लक्षावृतेषु सुरभि रवि पालयन्तम् लक्ष्मी सहस्रशत संभ्रम सेव्यमानं गोविन्दं आदिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि 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 चिंतामणि प्रकर सद्मशु कल्पवृक्ष रक्षावृतेषु सुरभिरविपालयन्तम् चिंतामणि वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुता पदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं चाक्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं त्वं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजना सहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवम् श्री राधा कृष्ण पदां सगन ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च श्री Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.